Okay, I see. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah. Ritik, there is a video available. You can have a look to the video. I think I have uploaded the video in the YouTube. You can check the messenger chat. So let me start the session for today. And today's session is also actually it's not a very complete session because finally we'll have to work with the object-oriented programming, and still we are not following the object-oriented programming. So let me start for today. So yesterday we did something like this. Let's say we just created user list. We had a uh, we had created a single function for making insert operate and delete operation, and then we called this function everywhere. So in fact this will not change, this will remain the same. In create button this will remain the same. So today what I want to do is I want to change this function. Actually I just want to change this SQL. I am going to change my SQL for today. I am going to change my SQL for today. So I am going to write a separate SQL. This one I am going to change. I don't want to write a plus operator. I don't want to write a plus operator. Rather than that I want to use a parameterized query. And how do you write a parameterized query? Let's see. A parameterized query is exactly the same that we have written in a stored procedure. So later on you'll be working with the stored procedure rather than working with the parameterized query as well. So in the parameterized query, what you used to do is you used to make insert into user table. User table, what you used to provide username, password, role, and the values used to be provided by the user. Okay, just a second, just a second. Okay, is it visible now? Just a second, it's getting visible. So is it visible now? Still no? Yes, okay. So let us get started now again. So yesterday I have deleted the query that we wrote yesterday, and I'm going to write a new query. So I'm just going to make txt SQL equals to, and I'm going to make it insert into user table values, and I just want to make username, password, and role, and I just want to make the red username. Sorry. Not at the red username, at the red password, at the red role. So this is what we have done in a stored procedure, everyone. This is exactly the way that we have done in a stored procedure. So in a stored procedure, you used to provide the parameter in a very similar fashion. Similarly, for update, also you do the same. For example, you'll just write update user table, set username equals to username, password equals to password, role equals to role, where user ID equals to user ID. And for delete also we'll write the query in the similar fashion. Delete from user table where user ID should be equal to the user ID. Done. Now we need to pass the parameters value. We need to pass the value to this parameters. Now how? So this username should be equal to this username. This password should be equal to this password. This role should be equal to this role, and this ID, user ID, should be equal to this user ID. So let's see how you can provide the parameters. So parameters is provided once you write the SQL statement. So you need to write something like cmd.command type equals to command type.text. So this is the way that you provide the parameters, and we need to provide the parameter this value. So in order to provide the value to the parameter, we have to cmd.parameters.add with value, and we just write at the rate user ID, and we provide through a function user ID. So this user ID is now equal to this user ID, which will be passing through a front end, or let's say on through a text box. cmd.parameter.add with value, and this is now at the rate username. and you have the right password. The right role, and finally role. Okay, that's done. We have just provided all the parameters, and now this is it. Now this will be what, this is more secure, this is super secure. No SQL injection here, no plus operator here, only the parameters, and parameters queries are one of the most secure way of making writing a program. Everything will work the same. Let me run and show you the output. Let me just click login. Let me go to users, and let me delete unwanted fields. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. You can see I'm able to delete by using a parameterized query. So obviously insert will work, update will work, delete will work. So let me delete unwanted uses. Last user. Let me delete this as well. Now let me create new user. Let's say I just want to create admin, password admin, and confirm password also admin, role also admin. Then let me create another user called role user, 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 and role also user. Let's say students. Great. So you are able to create this value. See, we created user and admin. So by using export process, what possible was, so we are able to make insert operation, delete operation, and then update operation. And we created a single function that does all the work. Everything remains the same, only the query will change. The way you write the query will change, and this is more secure way of writing the code. So before I take it to the next level, now it is up to you to practice it. You need to practice this before you need to get your hands dirty. Okay, you need to get your hands dirty before I start doing the stuffs more. You need to practice this all stuff. So for today, what again I will do is I will just try to show you some a login. How do you write a login here? So this is nothing more than this for your uh, uh, so we are not will not continue like this again. So now from next session we'll just start program, and then I'll show you how to write the program. We have to create database and everything, and I'll guide you on something, and you have to do something. So let's go to Solution Explorer, and then let me go to the login form. And what I now want to, if the user exists, he should be able to log in. If user does not exist, you should not be able to log in. So do you get my point, everyone? So do you get my point? What I am trying to do? I'm just going to trying to create a login now. So let's go and try to create a login. So for that, let me see whether I have provided username. Yes, this has a name. This has a name, and I hope this has a password as well. Password char must be okay. Use system password char is true. This will be between login. And that's right. This is between exit. That's absolutely okay. Now I'm going to create login. So let me go to login. Now instead of this, I'm just going to delete this code. I just don't want to do that. And before you create a login, what you need to do is to make a SQL connection. So before you make a SQL connection, you need two namespaces. One is system.data and one is a system.data.SQL point. But since you already have a system.data, you do not need to include it again. Then I'm just going to do using system.data.SQL point. So this is the namespace that you require, and you need to make SQL connection somewhere. So I'm going to make SQL connection again. So this will be made everywhere. And you know where to get the SQL connection, which we did in our previous class as well. Let me go to just check SMT database. Let me go to property. Let me just check connection string. Let me copy here. Let me paste here. Okay, that's done. Okay. So we make SQL connection. Now we want to log in. So for login, we need to retrieve username and we need to retrieve password, and we need to check whether that username and a password exist in our database. So for that, we'll be writing SQL command. cmd equals to new SQL command, and we will check select star from user table where username should be equal to @username. Now I'm using a parameterized query, and after right, and password also should match @password. And you need to specify the connection string, and that's mandatory. So once you are done with this, now you can just say, you can specify the command type. You need a data table. So that means I will populate the users onto my data table. And let me open the connection. No, let me just define the command type. This is text, and now I can open the okay. So I have to provide the parameters. So parameter.add with value. So in this case, so this will be @username, and this has to be, let's say, txt username. One second, everyone, I'll get back to you. बुझाउनु थियो किन सकिसक्यो पढाइ अनि के गरिरहेको त अविनाश सर हुन्न हैन, वी क्यान जस्ट मलाई तपाईँको सफ्ट कपीहरू मेरो इमेलमा पठाइदिनु है। तपाईँको इमेल एड्रेस टिपेर जानु। Okay, everyone, so let's get started again. So we provided the username. Now let's provide the password. This will be txt password.text. Now you can open the connection. You can run this query. So you can see this is very similar. Now in this case, I'll make a few changes. So I just made a small mistake here. Instead of this, I just need to have SQL data reader. Sorry, because I'm retrieving a value. This has to be SQL data reader. And you need to fill that on the data table. So once you fill it up, so let's say we're going to check now. If dt.rows.count, that means if a number of row is greater than 0, then that means the user exists, otherwise the user does not exist. Then I can just check form1 frm equals to new form1, and I can show this form. And finally this should be closed. Otherwise you can just display the error message. Invalid username or password. And you can clear the screen. And you can focus on the username. Focus on the username text box. So once you're done, let's run and check. Now if you do login, then you should get the error message. But if I provide username, this is invalid username. So let me provide appropriate username, admin and login, and I'm able to log in. That's it. Now here one thing is more. Let us say I log in, and you can see user have something called here in the bottom as a welcome and a username. I just want this to be our name of the user whoever has logged in. Okay, so this has to be our admin. So let's see how you can fix that. So in order to fix that, you have to have some few changes here. So let me go to form1 first. We directly cannot access that variable. So let me go to form1, and this one has to have changed. So I can change this to, okay, this has a property called is modifier, access modifier. So let's say it has a property some called access modifier, which is by default private. So because of this being a private, you cannot access it from outside, so you need to make it public. So there is some property, let me check it out. So there should be some property called access modifier. Let me check one by one. Just forgot what exactly is the property. Name, accessible, drop, anchor, auto lex, auto size, bold, style, cosmic, validation. More, I think that should be modifier, I guess. Yeah, that is modifier. So a modifier means access modifier. So what is the privilege level that you want to define for this level? So this is by default private. That means this level cannot be accessed outside the class. So instead of making, so but I need it to be accessed outside the class or outside of this form. So I can make it public, and I'm going to leave it LBL user. So now let's go to again a form1 login form, and now you can just access that variable. So that is belonging to this form because that was belonging to the form1 of which you have directed an object of frm. So I just can do frm dot uh, uh, lbl user dot text should be equal to now txt user dot text. Now this user will appear onto that level. Let's log in and check. So let me check. So you can check now you have a username. So few minutes everyone. Again, let me just program BTech SND in computing. Registration नाम के हो, center नाम ISNT, module name subject को नाम, module leader teacher को नाम. Okay everyone, so if you have a question here, please raise your question. Otherwise we do not have a lot to discuss today, because the next time I'll have to start with a real project, not like this. Because depending upon the UI, for example, whatever the UI you have, so we'll start doing creating table for each of them. For example, we'll be creating a UI for users. We will database for users. We'll be creating database for teachers. We'll be creating database for program. We'll also create a for semester. We'll create for batch. We'll create for units. We'll create for students. We'll create for assignments. The assignment is still not designed, so let me see, it must be here. Entry and release date. So there is enrollment for a student. Okay, this is for, so assignment receipt. There is something called assignment handover to teachers. So this is very lengthy, very lengthy. Receive from teachers, assignment feedback and all. So lots and lots of things to be done. Report. So reporting, you don't have to do anything, but we'll need to create a table. We need to create for table for teachers, program, semester, batch, units, students, assignment, and result. Now, how many of you do you think you can design a table for teachers with this field? For example, name, address, contact, email, gender, highest qualification, and date of birth. So, do you have a problem creating a table? Can you create table for teachers? Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. So I was just asking if you can create table for each of them. So can you create table for teachers, program, semester, batch, unit, students. So can you create table? So can you create table? Anyone? Do you think can you create a table for teachers? Like I'll just show you one more example and then you can follow it up. For example, let's say I might have to create a table for this. Let's say I might have to create a table for this teachers. The teacher will consist of the field like name, address, contact, email, gender, highest qualification, and date of birth. So how would I be creating the table? So again, I'll go to my SQL server and I will go to my database. Let's say database and create a new query and I'll create a table. Create table, teacher table. So one of the things that I should have is the teacher ID, integer identity 1,1, primary key, and then you should have a teacher name, varchar 100, address. I think that's we have a contact. Let me see what we have. Uh, Email, gender, highest qualification. We have email. We have gender. And what else we have? Email, gender, highest qualification, and date of birth. Highest qualification, and we have date of birth. So that's a data. So this is the way you create a table, everyone. So this is the way we create a table. So one table is done. So I would have to also create a stored procedure for this. So how to create a stored procedure for making insert, update, and delete operation? So let's create procedure sp underscore manage teachers. Let's begin and end, and you can simply just do at the rate teacher ID, integer at the rate teacher name, varchar, address varchar 100, contact varchar 20, email varchar 200, gender varchar 20, highest qualification varchar 20, date of birth, date time. So these are the fields you might need, and we might need at the rate more, and that is integer value. So this is a stored procedure, and as begin now we'll check if mode is 1, then we'll want to make an insert operation. So we'll just insert into a teacher table values. And what are the fields you would need? You would need a teacher name, address, contact, email, gender, highest qualification, press enter, date of birth, and so on. So and the parameters should be at the rate teacher name, at the rate address, at the rate contact, at the rate email, at the rate gender, at the rate highest qualification, at the rate date of birth. That's it for insert operation. And if mode is 2, then we'll want to make an update operation. So update teacher table, set teacher name equals to the rate teacher name, address equals to the rate address, contact equals to the rate contact, email equals to the rate email, gender equals to the rate gender, highest qualification should be equal to the rate highest qualification. and that is it. And we have where condition where teacher ID should be equal to teacher ID. That's it. And again, if at the rate mode equals to 3, then we want to have delete from teacher table where teacher ID should be equal to the teacher ID. And we are done with the start procedure as well. So let me run and check to make sure that I have no error. So there is an error. Let me fix the error. So date of birth has an error. So let me see what error it has. Highest qualification, comma, and okay. So I think it has a near date of birth. So let me see highest qualification, and there is comma is missing here. Okay. So let me just create it again. So this is completed. So now once you are able to create a stored procedure, you know how to execute it because you have done it last time. So let me execute and check. Execute sp underscore manage teachers. The first parameter will be an ID. The second parameter is a teacher name. Third is address. Then contact. Then email. Then gender. Then qualification. And then you need to have a mode. So let me execute. And there is error at the rate mode which was not supplied, so maybe I'm missing some value. So first is a teacher ID, name, address, contact, email, gender, highest qualification. So what is missing here? Let me just check. Okay, so let's say Jero, Vinod, address Bharatpur, contact, email. Oh, I am missing date of birth, sorry. So date of birth is missing. So let me have a date of birth as well. So 1/1/let's say 1986. This is my date of birth. Let's say, for example, let me execute this now again and let me see whether yes, one row is affected. So let me execute and check whether the teacher is set. So I think this should actually be getting one teacher. So one teacher is set. Let me say so there is another teacher. Okay. So let me run it again, execute it, and you can see this is affected. Select. That means my stored procedure is absolutely working fine. So now what I expect from you all people is, let's say that I showed you how to create a user table. I showed you how to create a teachers table. So now it's your job to create a table for this program. For program you should create, let's say, program name and description. You should create for semester. You should create for batch. You should create for units. You should create for students. You should create for not for assignment, so you leave this as it is. So you are, and you are not for this assignment, you are supposed to create for assignment release and entry and release. So this is another thing that you'll have to make. And again, for assignment receipt you have to create. For assignment handover to teachers you have to create. Okay, so you forget about this assignments. I'll just give you some idea. So you do this much only. You do for teachers, program, semester, batch, units, table, students. So these are the table that you need to create. So you need to create for, let's say, let me go to, you are supposed to create for, you are supposed to create for this one. So you have supposed to create tables for program semester, program semester, batch unit students, batch units and students, along with user and uh, teacher table. So I'm not giving you a lot of work, everyone. So can you do this much? Can you just try for, can you create a table for program, semester, batch, unit, students, and user and teacher, along with the stored procedure? So can you do this much? I just want you to do this much. I do not want you to write any code. I just want you to create table and the stored procedure. Only this much. Also is telling he will try. What about the rest? Just make sure that you can do this work or you cannot do this work. Please write. So will you try? Sure. Bisal is okay. Suyas can do. Bisal Karal can do. Okay. So I want you to finish this work by 3 days. So you can take Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you must finish these tables. So you may ask me, anytime. Okay, you can ask me if you have an issue. If you get stuck somewhere, you can ask me anytime. Okay, but you have to finish this work, everyone. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because from Sunday onwards we are going to start a project at an industrial level. And you know this project is not a small project. This is a very large project. This you can put in a profile. You can put in a profile that I have created an assignment management system for ISMT college, and this is the software. You can demonstrate it. Okay, this is not a very hulululu project. This is a big project, and for your level, it's a very big project. So you'll have to try, you'll have to work hard, everyone. And once you are able to develop this small project, you'll have a very good foundation for your further studies, for your further assignments, for your further projects. So you have to try this, everyone. We'll try in a sequence. It's not that you finish it in a day. You can try that in a sequence. One day you will create a table, other day you can create a stored procedure, the other day you can go for writing some GUI programs and everything. So you can create that in a very sequence. So you have to try, everyone. So what I will do today, I'll stop here for today. So you all can try doing that work. And the other very important thing, everyone, the other very important thing, those who have got an email ID, please register in team. Those who have got email ID, please register in team. I'll provide you the recording. Okay, I'll provide you the recording. I think yesterday's recording was uploaded on a YouTube, maybe. If it is not uploaded, I'll upload it again. So for those who have got college email ID, please register in team, everyone. This is very mandatory to start your second semester and then to continue your online classes. Otherwise, you will be in problem. I'll be in problem. Everybody will be in problem. So do you get my point, everyone? And for those who have not got the email ID, those who are having problem, please write email to me. Yes, Ashok, Microsoft Team, and Rajan Rajpanta@ismt.edu.np, and also Abhinav. So please write your email address if you have a problem, that if you want to reset your password, or if you have not got the email address, please write your email to vinod.sadar@ismt.edu.np or rajanrajpanta@ismt.edu.np and abhinav@ismt.edu.np. Please do it, everyone, if you have not got it. So do you get my point, everyone? You need to fix it in couple of days because we'll be starting. Because second semester classes already started, and I do not want you to be late. So yes, Rosen, yes, rest of them, please confirm me that we are going to do this work. Within 1 or 2 days, please finish this work, everyone. This is very, very mandatory. Very important, very serious. Otherwise, I'll get scolded for the thing that you don't do. Rochak, you came on time. So please make sure that you create email address. If you do not have email address, you write the email. If you have the email address, again I repeat, you please register in team. Okay, so today let's take a leave now, and I'll catch you again I'll catch you again in your by Sunday. By Sunday I'll get back to you now. I won't be having your 3 days class again because I have other classes as well. So I'll be catching you on from the next week, and please make sure that you have the email ID registered. Milan, I don't want your email address. You don't send me my messenger. You can just write the email address to the email that I mentioned above. You have to write that you have not got your email to binod.said@asmatu.edu.mp or this email whatever I have provided here. And I will check in my list, and if it is available, it's okay. Otherwise, we'll take further action. But we'll have to finish in very couple of days. Is that clear to you, Milan? Yes. Your email, you need to have a college email address to register in Microsoft Team. सो त्यसको लागि के गर्ने भन्दाखेरि मैले यहाँ माथि 3टा इमेल राख्दिएको छु हैन आई हेभ पोस्टेड द 3 इमेल्स त्यो इमेलमा इमेल राइट गरिदिने यु जस्ट राइट इमेल कि माई दिस इज माई इमेल एड्रेस एन्ड आई निड टु रिसेट माई पासवर्ड दिस विल बी मैले अघिदेखि के भनिरहेको छु इफ यु हेभ नट गट इमेल एड्रेस राइट द इमेल एड्रेस टु दिस इमेल एड्रेस पर्सनल इमेलबाट त्यसमा लेखे भयो you have written in messenger, right in the email address. Okay, so have you provided to all 3? Okay, I'll forward it right. I'll check it हैन यदि छ रहेछ भने I'll provide you छैन रहेछ भने I'll help you to make a new email address. Okay, is that okay, Milan? Okay, so everybody, this is very mandatory, so make sure that you register, right? It's very important. So let us conclude today's session, and then I'll get back to you in the next session again by Sunday, sorry. र मैले भनेको कुरा एकदम सिरियसली लिनुहोस् तपाईहरु मैले जुन काम भनेको छु जुन टेबल भनेको छु त्यो प्लिज है सबले क्रिएट गर्नुस् है make sure that you create the tables and you just come back, and then again if you have a problem you can contact me. Milan, did you solve your problem? Milan, are you there? Okay, ल अहिले यो क्लास सकिने बित्तिकै आज बेलुकातिर हामी बस्छौँ है त्यसो भए I'll be free in the evening today, and then I'll get back to you. These days I'm having some again lots of problem issues, like I have to rush to hospitals quite frequently. That's why I'm somewhat busy these days. So you have to just bear with me. And please make sure कि register in team र टिममा रजिस्टर गरिसकेपछि प्लिज कन्फर्म मी है एटलिस्ट वन्स है एकचोटि मलाई भनिदिनु है टिममा रजिस्टर गरे भनेर ओके एकछिन है आई जस्ट हैव अ कल एकछिन है सबजना हस् हजुर मेरो अफिसमा के उता हो उता अनि सुन्नु न मैले फेरि एउटा अपडेट गरेर हजुरलाई पठाइदिएको छु है फाइल हजुर अँ फोटोसप त्यति राम्रोसँग आउँदैन सर, अलिअलि चलाउनु आउँछ। अँ सकिन्छ। त्यो मलाई पठाइदिनु, मसँग फोटोसप त छैन, म कसैलाई गर्नु लगाइदिन्छु। हुन्छ सर, हुन्छ। त्यो धेरै टाइम हुन्छ हुन्छ सर, त्यो एकछिनमै हुन्छ। Okay everyone, so let's take leave now and I'll catch you on Sunday. But please everyone, यो मैले जति पनि काम भनेको छु त्यो सिरियसली सबैजना गरौँ है। टेबलहरू सबले बनाऊँ र टाइममा पनि रेजिस्टर गरौँ, because we are getting late now. Anyway, so see you again everyone. So you can start leaving now everyone. If you have done, if you have no question, then you can start leaving. You can start leaving now everyone. Stop sharing now. You can start leaving now if you want. If you have a question, you can raise the question, otherwise you can start leaving. Okay, then I'm ending today's session and I'll get back to you again.